Electron transport chain is one of the steps in oxidative phosphorylation. In more simple terms, this oxidative phosphorylation is energy producing mechanism through which we as well as all the living organisms generate energy that is being demanded by our body, right? So through this video lecture, we are going to learn about what is electron transport chain, what is its significance. Yes, of course we need to, and how does it occur, where does it occur, what are its different component, and we'll be discussing the mechanism in subsequent video lecture. So let's get started. What happen that when we eat food, the entire food will get digested. This is what we studied, right? So all the dietary molecule that is entering inside our stomach through whatever food we are ingesting, that food definitely will undergo a procedure called digestion. So what happens in digestion? This digestion will break down our food into glucose molecule, right? So basically what happened through food, what all food we are having, that food will convert our content into a glucose after digestion, and this glucose will get entry into the inside our bloodstream, and this bloodstream will carry the glucose molecule throughout our body, right? So now let's see why we require glucose molecule, right? So this is what the procedure of entry of glucose from food into the bloodstream. Next, glucose is required for cellular respiration. Yes, this we all know that we require glucose for cellular respiration. So because of the presence of glucose only we can respire, as in the cell can respire, ultimately we can. Then what we have seen so far, that when I have a glucose in combination with oxygen, the glucose will get oxidized to form a carbon dioxide and water, and energy is released during this procedure. So this is what a very simple reaction. You can call it as all the time you have seen and you must have fed up of this reaction, that is glucose will combine with oxygen and will give carbon dioxide and H2O. Till now, what we have seen, I hope you people remember, recently we have completed glycolysis, right? Citric acid cycle. So, through all this, what we have observed is with the help of glucose breakdown, we generate a CO2, right? As well as energy is released, right? This is what the scenario we completed till now, right? Through different pathways. Now today we are going to learn about how exactly water molecule is being formed due to the process called cellular respiration, right? This is what we have studied so far. Now let's see what exactly going to happen. You do have a dietary intake of carbohydrate, amino acid, fatty acid, right? This will undergo a metabolic reaction. So what all metabolic reaction we have studied so far? Glycolysis, pyruvate oxidation, citric acid cycle. Yes, so these are going to produce much more amount of NADH, FADH, FADH, NADH, NADH, FADH. So this all molecule is called as coenzyme, right? So this coenzyme which is getting accumulated inside a cytoplasm, they will have their all the way the entry towards into electron transport chain, which is occurring in mitochondria, right? So ultimately this electron transport chain which is being fed with all this content will release energy, right? This is what our requirement, right? This is what we studied. So from this ultimately we are generating energy. So how it occurs? This is what we studied. See, this is glucose which is there in a bloodstream, right? Through cell membrane. This is in the bloodstream through cell membrane. Within a cell, this will happen. Within a cell, you do have a glucose molecule entry, right? This glucose, of course, with the help of glycolysis, it will form a ATP and pyruvate. Remember, the first intermediate molecule that form of electron transport chain is pyruvate. This pyruvate have its, see, this is what happening outside the mitochondria. We are generating a pyruvate molecule, right? Along with that, we also generate ATP. This pyruvate molecule has the entry inside a mitochondria. So inside mitochondria, where exactly? In its matrix part, right? Inside the matrix part, where we do have a TCA cycle is running. That is tricarboxylic acid cycle, or you can call it as Krebs cycle. So this will break further to give us more amount of NADH and FADH. So this is what we studied. We do have a glycolysis, pyruvate oxidation, citric acid cycle, and more amount of FADH, NADH that is being getting generated inside a matrix of mitochondria. Keep in mind, everything what will get generated in cytoplasm or else into matrix, ultimately from cytoplasm it has its entry towards matrix part, right? This is a matrix, the innermost part of our mitochondria, that is a matrix. So this matrix will have many more amount of NAD and NADH and FADH produced with the help of citric acid cycle, and they have their entry to acting as a, they are actually a coenzyme. They are actually acting as a electron carrier, which will carry electron from your this intermediary metabolic pathway to electron transport chain, right? And they, the procedure called oxidative phosphorylation, and then ultimately they will carry the electron and will forward it to it, so that energy is produced, right? So what else you have? You just have a, structure of mitochondria where you have all the NAD, NADH and FADH produced, right? So this is what actual overview of what is going to happen, right? So ultimate goal is what? From all the glucose molecule that we have studied, that is we are gaining from the dietary molecule, will give ultimately more amount of energy. That is what we require for our daily work to be performed, right? So this ATP, that is adenosine triphosphate, is generated to give rise to our, to give rise to a energy, that is they are the energy molecule, energy currency also you can call it out, and this will ultimately enter into a system to give us a cell to fulfill their energy requirement. So where exactly it happens? You do have a cell, right? You, inside the cell there are many more organelles are there. Along with that, you do have a mitochondrion. So there is a mitochondria, many more mitochondria, right? So this mitochondria is called as a powerhouse, right? Why we call it as a powerhouse? Because this mitochondria is ultimately going to give rise a ATP, that is energy molecule that is being released out due to the short mechanism that I have explained you, that will be going in detail in our subsequent video lecture. Just have a focus what is the actual role of a mitochondria. This is the actual place from where ATP is being generated through electron transport chain, right? Then this mitochondria has a specific structure, and this that specific structure supports our actual mechanism of generation of energy. How does it do that? Just have a look on a structure of mitochondria, which is more important to study. What you have is, you have a everything outside the outer membrane, that is a cytoplasm, right? As we have seen that our actual mitochondria is present inside a cell. So surrounding part of our mitochondria will be what? Cytoplasm, right? So our outer membrane is the one which is protecting or shielding or forming a partition between a cytoplasm as well as the inner content of a mitochondrion, which do has a specific work to perform, right? So there is, you can see the highlighted part, that is your outer membrane, right? So this outer membrane is mainly to shield, to protect, and also to provide a isolated environment for the molecules and the content which are present inside the mitochondria, right? So this outer membrane has a different function, as well as it has one more function, we'll let you know. Now you can see you do have a inner membrane, right? So this inner membrane which is highlighted, this is outer one and this is the inner membrane. This inner membrane is specifically to form a partition between a outer environment that is being formed by the outer membrane, as well as to form a specified place for your other enzymatic or metabolic activity to take place. That is, within a inner membrane we do have a inner membrane space, right? So this will have a totally different molecule, different enzyme which are going to support our electron transport chain, right? As you all also have seen that this matrix part is going to favor our triacyl, sorry, tricarboxylic acid cycle to happen. So this matrix part, which is separated from the cytosol, it do has the enzyme that are required for TCA to occur, as well as for ETC to occur. TCA is your, yes, tricarboxylic acid cycle, and your ETC is electron transport chain, right? So this entirely will be there to form your NAD and FAD through Krebs cycle, right? So majorly you can see that many more Krebs cycle can occur at a time to generate more amount of NAD and FAD. So which all FAD is being formed, it will be getting accumulated within the matrix place itself, right? The place which is inside the inner membrane and will be consisting of fluid content, that is a matrix of mitochondria, right? Now here you can see one more specialized structure, that is you can see the infolds, right? These infolds are there in many number, right? So this infolds of inner membrane is called as, this is a finger like projection, you can see that, but it is a infold, right? This is called cristae, right? Why there is a need of forming this many cristae? You can, although we can form a straight membrane structure, right? But we have formed it in a this different way. The requirement of this infolding is what? You need to have more number of energy production, so that a demand of energy that is being done by a body can be fulfilled. So at a time many more procedure can be held at this membrane, that is through the electron transport chain, and we can carry out a energy generation production many time and much more difference point, much more in many difference point, thus to give rise to a more number of ATP, right? Then you can see that we'll be highlighting a specific part, that is this is a part where we are going to zoom in. You do have a inner membrane, matrix part, intermembrane space, and cytosol, that is your cytoplasm, due to the partition given by the outer membrane space, right? This is just a section, a part of your mitochondria, where we have just zoom in to see that. Say this is a cell membrane part, right? So that is the mitochondrial membrane, and this mitochondrial membrane is making this cytosol content to be separated from the content inside the mitochondrial organelle. So what do you have? You do have a cytosol outside totally, which is being partitioned by your membrane, that is a mitochondrial membrane, and then you have inner membrane space, and then lastly you do have a inner membrane, the exact inner membrane. This is the intermembrane space, then you have inner membrane, right? So this inner membrane do enclose your matrix, right? Now there is a speciality of your inner membrane. What is that? This do consist of a protein molecule which is actually going to perform your part of electron transport chain. Say you do have a complex 1, complex 3, complex 4, right? And this complex 1 2 4, 2 is not shown here, but we do have a complex 2. So these are the different complex which will going to pass on the electron, right? So this passing of electron will make a proton pull over this space, and ultimately energy is produced through the movement of protons. So we'll see that mechanism in detail. Just have a look on what is going to happen. This is a space where we need to form a proton pull. This is a space where we are having a NADH, FADH, so that our complex can interact with it, right? So next what you can see is you do have a NADH molecule, right, which is interacting with your complexes, right? This will release the electron. That electron will be carried from one complex to the other complex, right? And this will generate, you can see the white dots in intermembrane space. There will be a maximum generation of a proton. Now this proton will enter through this complex, and it will generate a ATP. That is what we can see here, right? And here you can see the production of water molecule. And why all this thing has happened? Due to the proton gradient that is formed, that we'll study in detail how exactly it forms. But have a look here, that is there are many more complex that ultimately generate our water molecule. Thus our reaction has got complete, the one which we have seen exactly in our first slide, right? So this water molecule will form, as well as we have generated a ATP, which is the actual requirement. So in all, what we have done, from our glucose molecule that we have gained through a dietary part, that ultimately got converted into a ATP molecule, right? So this is what the in all role of your electron transport chain is. in our next video lecture, we are going to go in detail about each one of the complex, that how exactly they have worked out to release our ATP, right? And everything is going to happen with the help of glucose, and the next major molecule that we are going to produce through chain of reaction, or else you can call a different mechanism, metabolic reaction, will generate a surplus amount of NADH and FADH, which will be transported inside a matrix, or else if it is produced within a matrix will be utilized to form a ATP, right? Okay, thank you.